Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Just a few minutes ago, the BBC have announced their brand new doctor to take over from Jodie Whittaker. And of course, as we know already, Russell T Davies is once again taking up the show-running responsibilities with Bad Wolf. If it was Bad Robot. With Bad Wolf also taking over the reins of creativity to Bad Wolf, not Robot, which was, of course, recently bought by Sony. So this is technically a Sony venture now as opposed to a BBC venture. Anywho, the new Doctor, which is interesting because the article from this BBC article is very sparse. It's basically, here he is, ta-ra. The new Doctor is going to be Nkuti Gatwa. And as you can see, this is going to be the first technically official. I mean, that's yet to be decided, I guess, depending on how Russell T Davies takes the Timeless Children storyline or doesn't. But this is the first official black actor, I guess, to take over canonically, maybe, I guess, as the Doctor. Now, first major positive is the Doctor's back to being male. I am 100% in the court, in the side, that the Doctor is a male character. I don't think the Doctor works as a female character. I don't like that they brought in that Time Lords can regenerate between sexes. I don't think that has particularly told interesting stories per se. I can already hear people going, but what about Missy? I just think that was Michelle Gomez being an absolute boss in that role. But as the Doctor, you know, you can maybe play around with certain other characters, but there's plenty of female Time Lords out there, Time Ladies, if you want as well, that Doctor Who could have played with, but they didn't, and they've chosen not to. But I'm very much in the court that the Doctor is a male character. And so getting that dynamic back as a male character is very welcome. The next big stumbling block for me, though, is the Timeless Children. As you have already heard, I've referred to the Doctor as a Time Lord because the Doctor is a Time Lord. The Doctor isn't this little black baby which was dropped through a portal from another universe, hopefully a complete universe, because if you watch Doctor Who Flux, they didn't even fix the universe. So I don't know why they're gallivanting around it. Well, they're not really. They're just jumping through time on Earth at the moment. But there's going to be no gallivanting around the universe because there isn't one. I think there's just like a couple of planets left on Earth. Whatever. Again, just laziness by Chris Chibnall, ill-thought-out stuff by Chris Chibnall. But yeah, I'm very much I'm in the court that they are a Time Lord. And their story is that they looked into that schism and they ran. And it's a good story. It's a good story of the runaway, of the renegade. And it's just so sad that the BBC allowed Chris Chibnall to usurp that and to pervert it. But of course, they did it for ideological reasons. There's no denying that. The BBC were embarrassed by their history of white doctors because as Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall took over the role, first of all, Jodie Whittaker in no way, shape or form endeared herself to the Doctor Who audience, making the claim that Doctor Who was just made for the male gaze, which is just absolute bullshit, and shows how disconnected people like her are, particularly when they're too lazy to do any research, when they're too lazy to actually look in and see what this franchise is all about and the fandom is all about. No, they just make stupid, broad stroke sentiments and already turn people against them when they themselves were already going to have a tough job being the very first female Doctor, which I don't think suited or fit the role. And as we saw, she didn't even bother to do anything. She did a half-assed David Tennant impression, which was appalling. Never once had any sort of gravitas. Never once had that moment as the Doctor. No, but I tell you what they did have. They had plenty of virtue signaling. They had plenty of lecturing. They had plenty of white man bad. And they were involved in plenty of partisan, political, ideological stories being told, which is just typical of the BBC. Hashtag defund the BBC. If the BBC want to create this type of content, that's their prerogative. But pay for it yourself, not out of the pockets of the hardworking British public. Particularly when you want to be partisan, particularly when you want to just be far skewed one way. So, the positive is at least Nakuti is a male Doctor, and that we're going to get a male Doctor at last. But unless the Timeless Children is retconned completely and obviously, then to me, the Doctor is still dead. Now, I will... Because we've got a male Doctor, I will give Russell T Davies the benefit for the moment, in as much as the next step has to be that retcon. Not ignoring it, not pretending that it never happened. No, because it would still exist. We need a full retcon of the Timeless Children. Russell T Davies is creative enough. He's a very creative showrunner. He's a person that could easily concoct some story to negate it. Even though we know that Chris Chibnall in the final episode is going to double, triple, quadruple, quintintal, tantal, octotople down on his verminous story. But that has to go. And the Doctor has to be brought back as a Time Lord. Because that is what they are. Now, this article from the BBC is very short indeed. It basically just says that the 29-year-old actor will become the 14th Doctor. They starred in a Netflix TV show called Sex Education. They're a Scottish actor who was born in Rwanda. And that Russell T Davies is returning after leaving in 2009. And then it's just... I'm scrolling down, just a huge white gap. That wasn't a race thing, by the way. And of course, can we say that Nakuti is canonically the first black actor to play the Doctor? Some people are going to go, what about Dr. Joe? Well, of course, if the Timeless Children is retcon, then they won't be a Doctor. They could be a Master. Who knows? Now, I know that Michelle Gomez was a great Master, but like I said, there are plenty of female Time Ladies, Time Lords, Time Ladies, that could be played with here. I don't like this bouncing between the genders. That's a personal thing. You might like it. You might not either. Now, let's jump to DoctorWho.tv, because at least I think they have a little bit more about the actor. Nakuti Gatwa is the new Doctor. The BBC today announced that the new Doctor is set to take charge of the TARDIS. Well, yeah, that's kind of what they do. Star of stage and screen, Nakuti is best known for his critically acclaimed performance in Sex Education as the iconic Eric Effiong, for which he was awarded Best Actor at the Scottish BAFTAs in 2020, as well as numerous nominations, including Best Male Performance in a Comedy Program at this year's BAFTAs. Speaking of his new role, Nakuti said, "There aren't quite the words to describe how I'm feeling. A mix of deeply honored, beyond excited, and of course, a little bit scared. This role and show means so much to so many around the world." Notice how his first conversation about the role is so different to Whittaker's. We'll see. Including myself and each one of my incredibly talented predecessors, apart from Jodie Whittaker, has handled that unique responsibility and privilege with the utmost care, apart from Jodie Whittaker. I will endeavor my utmost to do the same. Russell T Davies is almost as iconic as the Doctor himself, and being able to work with him is a dream come true. His writing is dynamic, exciting, incredible, intelligent, and fizzing with danger. An actor's metaphorical playground. The entire team have been so welcoming and truly give their hearts to the show. And so as much as it's daunting, I'm aware I'm joining a really supportive team. Unlike the Doctor, I may only have one heart, but I'm giving it all to this show. That's how you accept the role of the Doctor, not turning around and going, Doctor Who was made for the male. Yes, wasn't it? Russell T Davies, showrunner, adds, the future is here and it's Nakuti. Sometimes talent walks through the door and it's so bright and bold and brilliant, I just stand back in awe and thank my lucky stars. Nakuti dazzles us, seized hold of the Doctor and owned those TARDIS keys in seconds. It's an honor to work with him and a hoot. I can't wait to get started. I'm sure you're dying to know more, but we're rationing ourselves for now with the wonderful Jodie Whittaker's epic finale to come. No. But I promise you, 2023 will be spectacular. And Charlotte Moore, Chief Content Officer, said Nakuti has an incredible dynamicism. He's a striking and fearless young actor whose talent and energy will set the world alight and take Doctor Who on extraordinary adventures under Russell T Davies's new era. Further details will be announced in due course. One can only hope. I mean, they've said the right things with the acceptance of the role. The proof is going to be in the pudding. They're young. They're 29 years of age. So we're also returning back to that younger Doctor, probably more energetic and enthusiastic Doctor. But it's that whole timeless children for me. Unless that is dealt with, unless that is retcon, then I will have to just fizzle out with this, because that is not who the Doctor is. The Doctor is a madman with a box, a Time Lord from Gallifrey. That's who they truly are. Who ran away. So let's see how Nakuti performs. We'll find out next year. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links, they're in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.